Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. Now, welcome back, Stephen and Stuart. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your last chance. Remind us what happened.
Well, we got to the head-to-head, and it was a musical question, and we obviously gave a wrong answer.
Yeah. There were 2 songs with very, very similar names, weren't there?
Right, yeah.
That's right.
Well, listen, you've been around the course, you know exactly what to expect. People always perform better on their second appearance, and having made it to the head-to-head, surely this means finalists. Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Hopefully, yes.
Stuart, what are you hoping is going to see you through to the final? What would the dream Stuart category?
80s music.
80s music.
Or give me films.
Or
Steven
give you
Spielberg films would be
okay,
fantastic.
OK.
Yeah,
Stephen,
like
how about you?
Well, I like films in an earlier era, maybe 60s, 70s films.
OK.
And directors.
Very
hopefully.
good. Well, the very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you back on the show. We're going to expect great things from you.
We'll give it our best shot.
Good stuff. And next, we welcome Mel and Emma. Now, how do you 2 know each other?
How do you think we know each other?
You're in a band together, aren't you? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
I
we're
have a I thought
sisters,
you
yes.
might be. I thought you might be. Now, where have you come from?
Eastbourne.
Eastbourne.
Yes. Sunny
Sunny.
Eastbourne.
Eastbourne.
Yeah.
Emma, what do you like to do?
Play darts.
No.
We play on a pub team together.
Do you have a name?
Do you know what?
Alexander
It's the
Arms.
Alexander Arms.
No.
Yeah, we
Do you
had the
know
pub
what?
renamed specially to come on so we could say that.
Do you know what? No, there is. I know a pub. There's a pub in Northern Ireland, in Limavady, called the Alexander Arms, and I never tire of standing outside it. So darts, very
Yes.
good. Good with the arrows. What would you say was your specialist subject, Mal?
Science, food and
Science,
drink,
food and drink.
friends, big friends
You mean
fan.
capital F friends?
Yes.
That's the programme.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
not her
Not my
friends.
friends.
Yeah,
That'd be
no.
a bit
Well,
specialist.
you know, but, Mel's friends have come up before, so
Yeah, TV, popular culture.
excellent. Emma, how about you?
Science, geography, modern British politics. That's quite specific.
By modern, do you mean since 2000 or?
Yeah, about then.
Right.
Well, no, since I was about old enough to pay attention, so maybe 1996.
OK, very good. Is it the last
The
year of
Blair
the major
era
government?
onwards.
OK, very good. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. We'll
Thank
expect
you.
great things from you. And next, we welcome Joe and Nick. Now, how do you 2 know each other?
Hi, Alexander. We met in Germany about 30 years ago whilst working separately on different coaches on a rock concert trip, which was Monsters of Rock, featuring AC/DC and Van Halen.
Wow.
In Karlsruhe?
Karlsruhe.
Yep.
What do you do now, Joe?
I'm a DJ come football coach.
Right, so an element of coach has come through from the previous existence.
Yep.
And an element of music as well.
Indeed,
So
yep.
there we are. Excellent. And what's your favourite kind of music to DJ? Do you specialise, or are you is a very broad range?
We could have a problem here because I'm an 80s aficionado as well. So
No, Stuart. So what would you like to see come up this afternoon, Nick?
Geography. I quite
Of course.
Like. Yeah. And unlike him, I'm more 70s music. I'm a little bit older, so I DJ'd a little bit earlier. And
OK, very good. Very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us. And finally, we welcome back Gemma and Howell. You were on the show last time. Now, remind us what happened.
We had a whale of a time last time.
Indeed.
Yeah. Didn't do too good on question about whales. I had a good answer.
But yeah, Howell did really, really well when it was his go, and then I played it a little bit too safe, and we ended up being the highest scorers.
Yeah, blue whale.
Unfortunately, a lot of people know what a blue whale is, apparently. So
Yes.
who'd have thought?
Who would have thought? What would you love to see come up this afternoon, though, Gemma?
Films, I particularly like horror films, kind of a wide range of years as well, so it wouldn't really matter. There could have been some old ones, some new ones, or music. I used to be a DJ in the student radio back in Swansea, so
Very good.
know a bit about music. Yeah, anything like that, popular culture.
And Howell, what do you do?
I'm a firefighter.
You're a firefighter.
I am.
So you kept that very quiet last time.
You didn't ask me about
When
it.
we had that fire. How long have you been doing that, Howell?
I've been doing that about 18 months.
18 months. Wow. Well, very well done you, Howell. Fantastic. Well, we'll find out more about all of you as the show goes on. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He's the one in the cinema still sitting there during the credits, taking notes. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hiya. Hiya.
Well, now.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Should be a good show today. Stephen and Stuart were a very, very strong pair last time, weren't they? Very unlucky, I thought, to get knocked out. You'll be hard-pushed to beat them, I think. But Gemma and Howell, I suspect, have a few reserves in the tank. Again, they were unlucky. It might be tough for our two new pairs, but we shall see. Should be a very good show. We've got some lovely questions today. Should be a cracker. First question's quite difficult. It's one of those ones that some people will absolutely crash and burn on.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Talking of jackpot, nobody won it last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £7,000. Right, let's play Pointless. In the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points, so try and avoid those if you can. OK, our first category this afternoon is sportswomen. Sportswomen. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many WTA #1 ranked tennis players as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any tennis player who's been ranked #1 in the world by the Women's Tennis Association from 1975 through to the beginning of May 2011. That's any woman who's been ranked #1 in the world in singles tennis by the Women's Tennis Association.
Ooh, right. Stuart and Stephen, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. Women's tennis, Stuart. This just plays to all your strengths, doesn't it?
I am a big fan of tennis. I'm going to go for Justine Henin.
Justine Henin, you're saying? Well, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if that's a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Justine Henin. It's right, Stuart. Well done. Very well done indeed. That's an excellent score. Stuart scores you 2 and an excellent start to the game. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Stuart. Justine Henin or Justine Henin Ardennes. She's been #1 for 117 weeks between 2003 and 2007.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, Mel, we are looking at #1 ranked women tennis players. Is this a good subject for you?
Not really. I kept thinking, and there were some names that came to mind, but I think they might be quite obvious. So I think I'm going to go for Kim Clijsters.
Kim Clijsters, you're saying? Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kim Clijsters, if it's a correct answer. Good luck. Yes! Well done, Mel. Well done, Mel. Down it goes. Oh, it's a great answer. 4 points. Very well said. Richard.
Yeah, another Belgian, Kim Clijsters. Very well done. Good answer. She was #1 in the world for 20 weeks in all. Retired in 2007, then came back 2 years later, immediately won the US Open.
Very good. Now, Joe.
Yeah.
WTA #1 ranked tennis players.
Yes. I had 2 Belgians up my sleeve, but they've just gone.
Ah.
So I'm probably going to have to go with something a bit safer, and I'll go for Monica Seles.
Monica Seles, you are saying, Joe. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Monica Seles. Well done. Another low score, 7. Played Joe, Monica Seles. Richard?
Yeah, well done, Joe. Number 1 for 178 weeks, Monica Seles in the 90s.
Thank you.
That's nearly as many as Bryan Adams was, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just 2 weeks off Bryan Adams' record, yeah.
Very good. Now then, Gemma. Gemma, what is the most obscure female tennis player you can think of? Number 1 ranked.
To be honest, this isn't a great category. I'm just going to go for one. I'm not even sure if she was number 1. Go with Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, you are saying you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Serena Williams, is it right? How many people said it? Serena Williams. Right. 68, it scores you, I'm afraid, Gemma. 68 for Serena Williams. Richard?
Yeah, she certainly was world number 1 for 123 weeks between 2002 and 2009.
Thanks, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 2 is where Stuart and Stephen find themselves. Then we go up to 4 for Mel and Emma. Then up to 7 for Joe and Nick. And then a long way up for Gemma and Howell on 68. So, Howell, you have your work cut out in this next pass. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for WTA number 1 ranked female tennis players. Howell, you are the high scorers on 68. High scorers by a margin.
Yeah, not the best subject for me. Not very into my tennis. I got some names of female tennis players in my head. I'm not sure if they've all been number 1. I'm going to say Martina Hingis.
Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Obviously, no red line for you because you're the highest scorers. Martina Hingis, you're saying. It's right. Down it goes. Not a bad answer at all, Howell. Not bad at all. It scores you 10, takes your total up to 78. Will that be anything like enough to see you through to the next round? We shall see. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Howell. She's number 1 for 209 weeks, Martina Hingis.
So then, Nick, everything rests on your knowledge of female tennis players and their rankings in the world.
The only one I can, I'm pretty sure, was Martina Navratilova.
OK, you are saying...
I think should be a high answer.
Martina Navratilova. Howell and Gemma, there's a glimmer of hope here. There's your red line, Nick. If Martina Navratilova can get you below that red line, you are through to the next round. Martina Navratilova, is it right? How many people said it? It's right. Yep, she's got you through. 32. 32 for Martina. Takes your total up to 39. Richard?
Yeah, safely through 32 points, and she was number 1 for 332 weeks. Martina Navratilova dominated women's tennis in the 70s and early 80s.
Wow. Emma, you are on 4. The high scorers on 78 are Gemma and Howell. You want to be scoring 73 or less with this. So remember, we are looking for number 1 ranked female tennis players.
I think I'm going to go with Maria Sharapova.
Maria Sharapova,
Mid-safe
you're saying.
guess.
A mid-safe guess?
Yeah.
You think it's right? You're worried it might be a high
I hope it's
score?
right. I don't think it'll be pointless, but I think it will be...
Well,
I hope it's enough to get us through.
Maria Sharapova, you say, that's what you have to get below. Below that red line, through to the next round. Is Maria Sharapova right? And if it is, how many people said it? It's right. Well done. You're through to the next round. Well done. 20. 20, that scores you. Takes your total up to a very respectable and incredibly low total of 24. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Emma. She was number 1 on and off between 2005 and 2008, the Russian Maria Sharapova.
Now then, finally, Stephen. The high scorers on 78 remain Gemma and Howell. You are on 2. If you can score 75 or less, you're through to the next round. Let's see if you can keep your total in single figures. We are looking at number 1 ranked women tennis players.
Well, I'm thinking of Spanish players. Thinking of players from the USA, and I think I'll go for one from the USA, and I think I'll go for Chris Evert.
Chris Evert, says Stephen. Here's your red line, nice and high. Below that red line, through to the next round. Let's see if Chris Evert's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Chris Evert. Well done, Stephen. And you're through. Down it goes. 10. Not bad at all. 10. Stephen takes your total up to 12, the lowest total of the round. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Stephen. She was the first ever world #1, actually, Chris Evert, and held it for 260 weeks.
What a girl.
It's a little quiz question for you. So Serena Williams has done 123 weeks. Chris Evert's done 260. Martina Navratilova 332. How many weeks has Venus Williams been world #1?
405.
11. Just had 11 weeks in 2002. Yeah, she's huge at Wimbledon, of course, but it's been world #1 for 11 weeks. The person who's been #1 most, Steffi Graf, 377 weeks, would have scored you 17. Let's take a look at the pointless answers here. There's a few. Yeah, Amélie Mauresmo. Someone just said Mauresmo. The only French woman to be world #1. Anna Ivanovic, who was #1 briefly in 2008. Caroline Wozniacki and Jelena Jankovic, another one from 2008-2009. Well, let's take a look at the 3 most popular answers. These are the ones that most of our 100 people said. Heard a few of them already. There's Martina Navratilova on 32. Venus Williams on 67. Only 11 weeks at #1. And Serena Williams at the top there, 68. It's actually the biggest answer of all, Serena Williams.
Thanks very much, Richard. So, at the end of the first round, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Gemma and Howell again. Oh, dear. These first rounds haven't been kind to you, have they?
They've not, no.
All we can say is it's been great fun having you on the show, and thanks very much for playing. Gemma, Howell, brilliant.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, there's only room for 2 pairs in the head-to-head, so one of the teams is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. Try and make sure it's not you. Our category for round 2 this afternoon is fictional places. Fictional places. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And our question concerns fictional schools and their works of fiction. Fictional schools and their works of fiction, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 fictional schools in each pass. We asked 100 people which film, TV show or novel do they feature in. If you give us a nice obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, you're going to score 100 points. 12 schools in all, 12 guesses to have at home. Very best of luck, everybody. If the film, TV or novel is part of a series, we'll accept the first one in that series.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. So we are looking for the films, novels or TV shows in which these schools first appeared. And we have on our list New York High School for the Performing Arts, Kelsey Grammar School, Sunnydale High, Rudge Park Comprehensive, Erinsborough High, Bedrock High School. I'll read those one more time. New York High School for the Performing Arts, Kelsey Grammar School, Sunnydale High, Rudge Park Comprehensive, Erinsborough High and Bedrock High School. There are the schools. Now then, Stuart, let's have a nice obscure school from that list. Obviously, you are looking for the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew the answer to.
Well, the one that I'm more sure of, I think, is the one that most people will have known. And the other one is a bit of a gamble. I'm going to go for Erinsborough High, Neighbours.
Erinsborough High, Neighbours, you're saying? Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. That's right. 55. Quite a high score there. Richard?
Yeah, fairly safe answer. Yeah, Erinsborough High is from Neighbours. The clue's there. All the letters of the word Neighbours are in Erinsborough, plus a couple left over. Do you know that?
I did know that, yeah. There's a couple left over?
Yeah, it's not an anagram. There's an O and an R left over. It's an anagram for all neighbours.
Well, there you go. I never bothered to work it out, but now you mention it.
That's where you and I differ, my friend.
Yeah. Emma. So remember, we are looking for the films, novels or TV shows in which these schools first appeared.
think I'm going to go for Sunnydale High and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sunnydale High and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, says Emma. Is it right? And if it is, how many people knew that answer? It's right. $22. Really not bad at all. Our best score so far. Buffy, Richard.
Yeah, well done, Emma. As fans of Buffy, you will know Sunnydale High is built on a hell mouth, which is why it failed its Ofsted.
Thank you very much. Now, Joe, you are the last person to have this board, so please take us through it and fill in the gaps if you like, and then submit your favourite answer.
I have no idea about Rudge Park. I think New York High School is Fame, but I'm going to go for Bedrock High School and the Flintstones.
Bedrock and the Flintstones, says Joe. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Bedrock and the Flintstones. That's right. Ooh, it's a high score, though.
That's it.
Not bad, though, 64. Richard.
You should have gone for the New York High School for Performing Arts. It was Fame and would have scored you fewer points, would have scored you 45. Kelsey Grammar School is from Little Britain, would have scored you 8 points. And do you know Rudge Park Comprehensive? It's from In-Betweeners. In-Betweeners would have scored you 3 points. Best answer on the board. Very well done if you got that.
OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. Emma and Mel, the best score of the past, 22. Then we go up slightly more than double, 2.5 times that score, 55, Stuart and Stephen, and then up a smidge to 64, where Joe and Nick are. So, Nick, you're going to have to atone for that high score in the second pass if you want to be through to the head-to-head. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? Right, we're going to put 6 more schools on the board, and here they are. We have got Do the Boys Hall, Springfield Elementary, Marsha Blaine Academy, William McKinley High, Rydell High School, Houghton Comprehensive. I'll read all of those again. Do the Boys Hall, Springfield Elementary, Marsha Blaine Academy, William McKinley High, Rydell High School, and Houghton Comprehensive. Now, remember, we are looking for the TV shows, novels, or films in which these first appeared, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Nick, you are the high scorers on 64. You have to try and score as little as you can with this pass to ensure your place in the head-to-head.
I think I know one, but I don't want to gamble on it. I'm going to go for Springfield Elementary, The Simpsons.
OK, you're hoping to score as few points as you can. You're going for The Simpsons for Springfield Elementary. Let's see if that's right. No red line for you, obviously, because you are the high scorers. Good luck. It's right. 67. Takes your total up to 131. Richard.
Yeah, pretty big score, Nick. We'll ask you at the end of the round, I think, what risk you were going to take and see if it would have paid off.
OK, now then, Mel. The good news for you is you are through to the head-to-head. Whatever you score, even if it's 100, you won't overtake Nick and Joe's high score of 131. So remember, we are looking for the films, novels, or TV shows in which these schools first appeared.
OK, looking at that, I knew 2 for sure. Simpsons being one of them, and the other one, which I might not say because I might just take a guess if we're through and try and get something. But then it might be a really silly guess.
Well, if it's an informed guess, it might be a brilliant guess.
No, I actually don't have any idea at all, so I'm just going to go for something that's right, and I'm going to be a bit boring, I'm sorry. So I'm going to go Rydell High, Greece.
Rydell High, Greece, you're saying. No red line for you. For the other reason, you're the low scorers. You're through whatever happens. Let's see if Rydell High is right for Greece, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. That's right. 50. Surprisingly low score. Takes your total up to 72. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Mel. John Travolta was 23 when he starred in that film as a high school boy, and Olivia Newton-John was 29.
Wow.
Wow.
Now then, Stephen. Yes. This is where it gets interesting. Nick and Joe are the high scorers on 131. You are on 55. You have to score 75 or less with this answer to be through to the head-to-head. You're the last person to have the board, so fill in the gaps for us if you like.
Well, I'm struggling very hard on this one. Very, very, very hard. I'm struggling. I think the only one I can guess is the top one, and I'm going for Duff Boys All, Tom Brown School Days.
Tom Brown's School Days, you are saying. There's your red line. Below that red line, you're through to the head-to-head. Very best of luck. Tom Brown's School Days, is that right for Do the Boys Hall? Bad luck, Stephen. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer. I'm afraid that scores you the maximum of 100 points, which takes your total up to an unbeatable 155. Richard.
Yeah, that's unlucky. Tom Brown School Days is set at rugby school. And Do the Boys Hall is actually, it's the school run by Wackford Squeers in Nicholas Nickleby. Dickens Nicholas Nickleby. Would have scored you 4 points, would have seen you safely through. Nick, are you going to reveal what your risk would have been?
I was going to go for Greece, Rydal Hive. I wasn't 100% sure.
Well, you'd have been right. I can exclusively reveal.
Greece is the word.
Let's take a look at the rest of them. Do you know Hot and Comprehensive? Anyone know that? This is a hole in my cultural knowledge. Anyone? Emmerdale. Yeah, it's exactly right. It was scored 31 points, that. William McKinley High, do you know that? Glee, yeah, my daughter's favourite programme. I watch it if it's on. I don't switch it off. I love Glee.
Do you watch it after she's gone to bed, or...?
if I'm honest, yeah, 16 points, love Glee. And Marcia Blaine Academy, do you know that one? Best answer from the board, 1 point. It's from the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. It's the school in that. So Maggie Smith, of course, won her Oscar for it.
Oscar, indeed.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, Stephen and Stuart. Well, this is most unexpected. Most unexpected.
Shell-shocked.
Yes.
Is Nicholas Nickleby now coming back to...
Haunt me.
Yeah. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Well, I mean, you played the most exemplary game throughout all of the last Pointless and throughout all of this up to the Do the Boys Hall answer. Very regrettably, we have to say goodbye to you, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing, Stephen and Stuart.
Thank you.
Tremendous team. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done. Emma and Mel, Joe and Nick, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £7,000. Now, for each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries with a Black Sea coast as they could. Countries with a Black Sea coast, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for one of the countries that has any part of its coast on any part of the Black Sea, please. 6 countries that have a coastline on the Black Sea. By country, we mean a sovereign state that's a member of the UN.
Thank you, Richard. Now, Mel and Emma, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. Countries with a Black Sea coastline.
Your name in a minute. I think what the other two.
OK, Mel and Emma.
We're really not sure which one the Black Sea is.
It's the black one.
Yeah. Not in colour, though. Or is it? Is that white? Oh. So, going to go for... I'm pretty sure it's not right, but Israel has a...
OK.
on the coast.
Well, that's a C, certainly. Israel, you are saying. Joe and Nick.
Well, I think... You said there's 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think of all 6.
You can talk us through them if you like.
OK. Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania. I'm never quite sure which way around they go. Russia and Ukraine. I think the last one is Georgia. I seem to remember the Russian Navy steamed into Georgia's only port.
You forgot to mention Israel.
Yes. So I think we should go maybe Bulgaria or Romania, either of those.
What go we weren't sure of? I defer to your knowledge on this.
OK, or Ukraine. Ukraine. I'll go for
Ukraine, OK. Ukraine, says Nick. We have Israel and we have Ukraine. Emma and Mel, Israel, is it right? How many people said it if it is? No! I'm afraid Israel, an incorrect answer. However, that means Joe and Nick merely have to be right with Ukraine. Let's see if they are. Ukraine. Yep, very well done. You've done it. You've done it with a lovely low score as well. Very well done. Well played, Nick. After the first question, that means Joe and Nick are ahead 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, that's when you know you've got a travel expert on your team. And you've done my job for me. You've got all 6 of them. And you even did them in order of popularity. Let's take a look. There's Georgia at the bottom with 10, Ukraine 12, Romania 17, Bulgaria 21, Turkey 38, and Russia at the top with 42. Very well played. You should get 2 points for that, really.
OK.
Yes, please.
OK, here is your second question. Emma and Mel, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many yellow UK top 40 singles as they could. Yellow top 40 singles, Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any single that's charted in the UK top 40 up to the beginning of May 2011 that has the word yellow in its title. If it's a double A side, we'll accept either side. The one answer we won't accept is the song Yellow by Coldplay, which is the one that every single person in the audience was thinking of.
OK, Joe and Nick, you go first this time.
We're going with a very current one, just to show that I'm not as old as I look. And it's called Black and Yellow.
Black and Yellow.
Yes.
OK, Joe and Nick have gone with Black and Yellow. Emma and Mel.
Well, we can only think of 2. One, I'm sure, is the one that pops into everybody's head after Coldplay. So we're going to go for Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow. So Joe and Nick have said Black and Yellow. Emma and Mel have gone with Mellow Yellow. Everything rests on this, possibly. Emma and Mel, you have to win this question to stay in the game. In the order they were given, Joe and Nick, Black and Yellow. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Black and Yellow. It's right. It's right. And down it goes. Look at that, 4. 4 for Black and Yellow. Emma and Mel. We have to hope that Mellow Yellow gets below that. Is it right? And does it? Mellow Yellow. Mm, 29. Well, that means after just 2 questions, Joe and Nick are straight through to the final 2-0. Richard?
Yeah, is there nothing Joe and Nick don't know? Very impressive, yeah. Black and Yellow, a hit early in 2011. 2 different acts, actually. Wiz Khalifa had the very big hit with his insanely catchy one. Hype Squad also released Black and Yellow. Let's take a look at all the yellow answers up here. 2 pointless answers. Yellow Pearl, which is a Phil Lynott single, more famous as a theme tune to Top of the Pops for 5 or 6 years. 18 Yellow Roses by Bobby Darin, that was a pointless answer. Big Yellow Taxi is a hit for Joni Mitchell and Counting Crows, would have scored you 2 points. Yellow Rose of Texas was a hit 3 times in 1955, would have scored you 3. Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, it's a hit twice, once for Brian Hyland, once for Bomb Ballerina and Timmy Mallet. Would have scored you 4 points. There's Black and Yellow, 4 points, very well played. Yellow River was a #1 hit for Christie, would have scored you 9. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John, 17 points. Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree, 25. Mellow Yellow by Donovan, 29. And Yellow Submarine, right at the top with 82. Very well done if you got some of those low-scoring ones there. And unlucky if you got Bomb Ballerina, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
Thanks very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, Mel and Emma. However, we get to see you another time. Had you gone through to the final, that would have been it. So you'll be back for another Pointless, and we'll look forward to that. But meanwhile, thanks very much for playing, Emma and Mel. Great contestants. But for Joe and Nick, it's now time for our Pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £7,000. Well, congratulations, Joe and Nick. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £7,000.
That'd be nice.
Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are crime novels, international politics, European actors.
Well, I know nothing about literature.
Me neither.
European actors.
Not really sure.
Oh,
about
international politics might be presidents of America or
that. I think that'd have to be the one.
secretary generals of the UN or
Could be.
La Politique Internationale, please.
You have as good as won it just by saying that. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many prime ministers of Italy as they could. Prime ministers of Italy. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for the name of anyone who served as Prime Minister of Italy from 1970 right the way through to April 2011, please.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £7,000 jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
So just go home.
Any thoughts? You know,
I know one.
And
But
he won't be right.
Who's going to be?
Was Aldo Moro one?
Oh, didn't he play for Inter Milan?
Not that I know of. But I know he's a vague recollection of him being an Italian politician, at least.
Well, that's something. His
Yeah.
name Italian politicians is a good start, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
So
what
Berlusconi.
about that lady?
Who's
The
that lady?
Former glamour model.
Was she? No, she wasn't prime minister, was she? I think they've had hundreds. And I can't think.
Fought in 40 years.
Let's just think of some Italian names. Riplioni or
Giuseppe Rossi.
Rossi.
Oh, he played for Man United.
Yeah. I've no idea. We may as well just go home now, Alexander. I think. Well, we've got to come up with 3. We might as well say Berlusconi, but he's going to be
Yeah.
taken.
Hold on, let's think.
What's the other one? Aldo Moro. Sounds like a shop, but never mind. And, I don't know, Italian.
Oh, I honestly can't think of any others.
There's your minute gone. We were looking for prime ministers of Italy. I now need 3 answers from you.
Well, our third one is blank. So
Well, we can come to that one in a second.
Well, should we say Rossi?
Well, hold on. Just in...
Okay. Well, there you go. Aldo Mori.
Moro.
Aldo
Moro.
Aldo Moro.
Like in yellow. Silvio Berlusconi.
Silvio Berlusconi.
We won't be pointless.
Do we need both names, or...?
Yes.
Right.
I have no idea.
Giovanni Rossi.
And
Giovanni Rossi.
Giovanni
If
Rossi.
that works.
OK, there are your 3 answers. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
It'll have to be Aldo Moro, I think.
Aldo Moro, put him last. And should we put Giovanni Rossi first?
Yes.
OK, very good. Let's put them up on the board in that order, and here they are. Giovanni Rossi, Silvio Berlusconi, and Aldo Moro. We were looking for prime ministers of Italy. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer to win the £7,000 jackpot. Let's see if Giovanni Rossi is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Yep, well, we knew that. We knew that. Unfortunately, not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. £7,000. What would you do with £7,000?
Well, I hear there's a Ben Miller DVD coming out. I thought I might get that.
Yes, you could. You could probably get a couple for that, actually. Nick?
I toying with the idea of taking the family to Australia. And,
Very good.
But although it's only half of that, isn't it?
What,
So-
I'm leaving them there, or...?
Yes. Well, you've got friends out there, so...
Very good. Well,
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it,
OK, well,
Alexander,
best of luck. Fingers crossed. You never know. We have surprised people in the past. We are looking for prime ministers of Italy. Let's hope nobody said your next answer. Obviously, this has to be correct, and it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. But for £7,000, let's see how many people said Silvio Berlusconi. Well, we know it's right. This will indicate how much our 100 people know about Italian politics. 67. OK, you only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. We are looking for Prime Ministers of Italy. You said this was your most confident answer. It has to be right and it has to be pointless.
Yeah.
Now, how did you come across this answer?
Just popped into my head. I've no idea where it came from.
It popped into your head?
Yes.
That's the way winning answers pop into people's head. That's how people come up with them. This is for the jackpot of £7,000. It has to be right and it has to be pointless. Let's find out. Aldo Moro, there it is. Is it right? How many people said it? It's right. Aldo Moro is a correct answer. Now, if this goes all the way down to 0, you will be leaving here with £7,000. Down it goes, still going down. Aldo Moro, oh, down it goes. That is fantastic. What about that? Very, very well done.
I don't believe that. I really don't believe that.
Well, congratulations. I'm just going to give you time to let that settle in. You managed to find that all-important pointless answer, which means you go home with a jackpot of £7,000. Very, very well done.
I don't believe that.
Well, Richard.
Yeah, very well played, guys. Well played, Joe. I think Aldo Moro, possibly in your consciousness, he was Prime Minister 5 times, but in 1978 was kidnapped and shot by the Red Brigade. All over the papers, that sort of thing. So somewhere,
that's the bit I remember.
Somewhere that's lodged, and that's the whole point of pointless.
Yeah.
I think let's go through all of the pointless answers here, and you'll see Italian prime ministers slightly different to British prime ministers. Let's take a look. There's Aldo Moro, as I say, kidnapped and shot by the Red Brigade. Amintore Fanfani, he was prime minister 6 times. Arnaldo Forlani, he was forced to resign after a Masonic scandal. Bettino Craxi. Carlo Azeglio Chiampi, he was forced to take over after a series of scandals. Emilio Colombo, who was Prime Minister from 70 to 72. Francesco Cossiga, Giovanni Goria. Julio Andriotta was convicted of the murder of a journalist, but was later cleared. There's Italy for you.
There you go.
At least they've got it right this time.
Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Joe and Nick, who go away with today's jackpot of £7,000.
Thank you very much.
And to think how hard won those early rounds were.
Well,
it was by the skin of your teeth. You made it through round 1 and round 2, actually.
Very strong couples went out.
Very strong couples went out. Well, you made it through, and you've dazzled us in the last 2 rounds. Been absolutely fantastic. Well, join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.